I'm going to be very honest and say this. I don't think that dating interracially is going to be a possibility for me after this election moving forward. I don't foresee that being something that I entertain, even in the slightest bit. I don't. Was it something that I was like giddy and like gung ho about, attempting as I date right now? No. Honestly, no. I'm pro black. I love black men. I love black women. I want a black partner. I believe that relationships are so hard on their own to then bring in like completely different cultural backgrounds and cultural experiences. Now, it could be different, with another person of color, but even after, again, this election, I'm even looking at them a little crazy. I don't necessarily even believe in POC. I am a black woman.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Okay, guys, it looks like we've got another way that this election has affected the dating market. I guess we're going to see more black women who are refusing to date outside their race. So goodbye to pasta and lobster, right? Goodbye to the swirlers. Goodbye to what's that other one? It's where they transform the white dude into a black man.
Put that coffee down.
I know you didn't like that coffee. What is it? What is it? I really can't remember. The black girl effect or something like that? Something like that. As someone who encourages you to go where you're appreciated, if you are interested in dating Thai women and you find love with a Thai woman, go. I encourage every man and woman to go where they're appreciated. Why would you constrain yourself? She should get back to the reaction video. My bad. Let's go.
First and foremost, I am a black woman.
Right.
And history has proven, this election has proven, no one is coming to save us but us. And we can't really trust anyone aside from ourselves. So the idea of putting myself out there when half of white men, half of white women,
right,
60% of Latinos, no. No. I had this conversation weeks ago, actually, with my siblings, talking about the Diana Rossification of our family and how I didn't want that's something that I don't want to happen. We were talking about it, and I was telling my mom the other night that I'm like, it really frustrates me that my brother, both of my brothers are in relationships now. They're both in relationships with white people. I'm like, that now our own family.
Why does that frustrate you? Why does that frustrate you? Doesn't that sound racist? Listen, I've dated black women my whole life, married to a black woman right now. I've always thought when I run into people who look down on someone who dates outside their race, I'll be like, yeah, that's a little racist. It's a little racist. I feel like a lot of black chicks say that. They don't think it sounds racist. Is he happy? Why aren't you happy for him? For both of them.
Is no longer a safe space. And this isn't me trying to be like, oh, I just want to talk shit about white people with my family in peace. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is if I have a racist interaction with the white person and my brother's, wife is there or my brother's, husband are there. They're still in the boyfriend girlfriend status, by the way, but let's just say their significant others are there. Now I feel like I have to hold my tongue. I have to be careful about the words that I choose for fear, out of protection for their partners, when I shouldn't have to do that around my own freaking family.
Insanity, bro.
Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? It's kind of like, when white people come into predominantly black spaces, and then take up space. We're not saying that you can't be there. We're saying be respectful of the fact that you're a guest. And in some situations, you know what? We don't even necessarily need you to be there as a guest. For certain situations, certain things. No, just no. And so now I'm choosing to look at all white people and all people of color, all of the people of color. I'm looking at it as if it's like a poison bag of M&Ms. I'm looking at that like half of the M&Ms in this bag are likely poisonous. And because of that, I don't want to eat them. Get someone else to do it. I'm not eating it. I will not be taking part. No. Because Because truly, how am I supposed to feel safe with any of you guys? How are any of us truly supposed to feel safe around any of y'all? And that brings me to the blue bracelets. The blue bracelet. It's a good idea in theory. I understand wanting to be able to go out and be able to at least identify one.
So let me just explain the blue bracelets thing. I saw it crashing out. They're all crashing out. Basically, the video that I saw had a white woman who's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about the exiting polls. And I hear there's a blue bracelet that white women can wear to show that I'm not one of those other white women who voted. And now they're walking around with bracelets. And it's weird. It's just very, very strange. This is very, very strange. You're trying to mark yourself in society. Weird.
Person that you feel like you could trust. But y'all have, like, white women specifically, I'm gonna talk to y'all have us over 3 times now. 3 times where we genuinely thought that we wouldn't be doing this with him, and y'all sold us out. You put your whiteness first before your womanhood. So no. If my brother's partners see this, listen, I don't have beef with you personally. It's not that I'm going out of my way to be cold to you because I don't like you. That's not the case either. I just don't know what I don't know what to do. I truly don't know what to do. And Jesus, yeah, I'm gonna end the video there. Christ.
So she's upset. She's no longer dating outside her race. And she says, you white women, you put your whiteness first before us. What does she mean by us? She means feminism. They chose their family unit over feminism. Almost like maybe the black women who were shunning black men before they saw these statistics should have been trying to build with those men 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, instead of demonizing, shaming, and talking down to them. Almost like feminism was a lie.
I knew from the beginning Kamala Harris wouldn't win as president, simply because she's a woman. Because inherently, in every single person, we believe that men are leaders, not women. Even the white ladies that yell feminism voted for Donald Trump. Look at the data. Don't lie to yourself and listen to these fake feminists and the Western propaganda that they try to feed everybody else, that women are just as capable as men. Because at the end of the day, they don't even believe that crap that they feed us. They believe that men are the leaders. Islam already told you, submit to your husband, obey your husband. They put men as leaders. They sent men as prophets. They didn't send women as prophets because it's known that men are better leaders than women. They're more respected by other men than women. They're more respected by women than women.
Listen, I've seen this chick before and she serves coffee with a smile.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Though I will disagree on a couple of things, maybe based on scriptures that I read. There have been female prophets. If you look at the Bible, there are a couple. I'm not somebody who sits there and thinks that they could never be a female leader or a female president. I don't think that that's impossible. I think it would take a very unique person in order for that to happen. If you agree or disagree, comment down below.
I hope this election proved that there is no power for black women outside of the family structure with their husband. YT women sold you guys on feminism, and they do a lot of talking. And then they go into the booth, the voting booth, and they vote against you and against everything that they said because they're going home to their family structure and their husbands. Asian women vote inside of the family structure. Latino women vote inside of the family structure. It is our black women who are looking for power that you will never obtain outside of your family structure because that is where the real power resides. Look at Georgia, for instance. Kamala couldn't win Georgia. What does that tell you if she can't win Georgia? That tells you a lot. Now, I want you to look at the demographics of Georgia, and I want you to look deeply in who voted for Donald Trump in Georgia and who voted for Kamala Harris. If that doesn't prove the point that I'm trying to make here, I don't know what does. I'm going to say this to black women. The reason why a lot of black men are laughing is because we told you. And I voted for Kamala Harris, but I still told you your power rests inside of your family. Now, you can buck that all you want, but it ain't no way in hell that this country is going to hand over power to a minority inside of a minority. It's not happening. So the power that you have is within your family, voting as a unit together.
I think that was very well said. But back to the chicks who are saying, hey, you know what? I'm done, right? Done with the pasta and lobster. I am dating strictly in my race based on the exiting polls. Of course, we're talking about 80% of men voting for Kamala Harris. Let's check out some of these comments. This female commenter says, I said the same thing. So she's agreeing with the first chick, right? The video of the woman who's like, I don't know if I can date outside my race. In fact, she said, I can't. Goes on to say, once I seen those numbers, I said, oof. I'm gonna stick to what I know. LOL. Here's another chick who says, I feel the same way. I was going to give it a try. Now, hell nah, she says. Here's another dude who came in the conversation like, nah, what happened to Mr. Pasta and Lobster? With somebody else, a man who responded and says, Jamal, people live and learn. And Jamal responded back and says, yo, brother, listen, it was just this past month. But you know what? I agree with the guy who says people do live and learn. I am not the type of person, in case you guys haven't noticed, who sits there and just brands people as hopeless causes that will never change. Now, do I think it's very unlikely that people learn from their lessons a lot of times? It's very hard. Most people aren't willing to do the introspective work, look around and say, you know what? I haven't been drinking enough coffee. Somebody else here added to the conversation that turned into a thread and says, bruh, the way y'all won't let this die is hilarious. To me, I haven't heard this in months. Only for men, people just want to be treated well. It was a joke. Some people are delusional. And so she's like, the pasta and lobster thing, we were just kidding about that. Somebody else here added, it's time for us to learn to be together again and not let the media divide us ever again. Screw that blue bracelet. Somebody else here says, it was never on my list, sis. She's like, hey, I was never dating outside my race. Here's another comment that says, I agree, because if it's not the person, it's their family. It's their friends. Here's another person who says, pasta and lobster movement has ended.
Also, to the white women who voted for Trump and you like black men, like you exclusively date black men, which is ironic as hell, but there's a lot of you guys out there. When they start taking away the rights for black people to date you, because that's what's going to happen in about 2.5 years, because I don't know if you know that little roly-poly black man who's sitting in that Supreme Court, who's married to a white woman, he wants to get rid of interracial marriage.
Takes like this and like slavery is going to come back to me are insane. Makes me think of like, what echo chamber do these people get their information from? So
you guys might want to figure that out in the next maybe 2 years, because soon you're going to be stuck with your own kind. And by the statistics, it's starting to become lesser and lesser of you who want your own kind. So when it happens, don't come crying to us, asking us to bridge the gap, because I'm going to look at you and tell you to get in your boat, cry a river, and row it down the stream, because I honestly do not care. Like, I am not crusading for any causes that benefit white women anymore. I don't give a what it is. If a black woman is not the head of whatever figure protest we're going for, I don't care about it. I do not.
Wow. Speaking of echo chambers, here is our final video.
And I think one of the hardest parts of this election was realizing that I was in an echo chamber. I thought, because of my algorithm and living in Atlanta, like, I thought Harris had this. And seeing that this campaign wasn't even close was so insanely eye-opening, because I'm like, y'all moved in silence, or I was just living in a completely different reality. My entire For You page is all pro-Harris. And I'm truly shook by the results. And I'm just like, I feel like Atlanta's the same way. Like, the fact that Georgia is red, like, I really thought we were going to be blue.
Listen, as always, I'm curious to know, what do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.